right, I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Good evening. This is the meeting of November 18th, 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the applicable portions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been given. This meeting is posted on the bulletin board located in the corridor of this building and published in the newspaper on January 11th, 2019. Councilwoman Noonan will offer a prayer and Councilwoman Gingrich will lead in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
As we bow our heads at Thanksgiving, let's remember our friends, our family, all the blessings, both big and small, that pour out each day. We give thanks for the food, for the hands that prepare us. We give nourishment to our bodies and our souls. But let's not forget the ones that cannot be here today. We give thanks for them. We miss our loved ones. Lord, but let's be thankful for the good times that we had with them. So let's help and live and honor them in this way. And also remember our first responders, our police, our military that cannot be with us. Amen.
Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Bacchione.
Here.
Councilwoman Gingrich. Present. Councilman Burns.
Here.
Councilwoman Noonan.
Here.
Councilman Godano.
Here.
Councilman Buccio.
Here.
Council President Gross is absent this evening.
All right, 3A, we have some certificates and proclamations. Mayor? Got two groups tonight.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Acting President. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. See, you guys knew it. Excellent, thank you. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight in rainy weather. We want to recognize some individuals. We have a very, as most of the council know, and those who attend our meetings and those who watch them on TV know, we have a very active Berkeley Township Waterways Advisory Commission led under the chairman of Bill McGrath. And in addition to holding meetings and making recommendations to the town on how to improve waterways, they're also very active in the, I believe it is Clean Ocean Action. Clean Ocean Action twice a year does what they call a massive cleanup of certain areas within the community. And through our Waterways Commission under Chairman McGrath and Commissioner Beth Collis, they organize that for us each year. Usually in the spring, they do South Seaside Park along the Bay Area from 24th to 21st Avenue. And then this year, for the fall campaign, they did Dudley Park, the end of Dudley Park over by the Ocean County Rail Trail, which is also by the trestle. And the timing could not have been more perfect because the cleanup was on a Saturday, and then that following Friday, Ocean County dedicated the next section of the Ocean County Rail Trail, and all the freeholders and the dignitaries from not only Berkeley but Lacey were there as well, and commended the job that our volunteers did from our Waterways Commission, and of course our Scout Troop 9503 was also there to participate in the cleanup this year over at the rail trail / trestle. And Edward, you guys usually participate in other cleanups as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Right, you guys are part of the South Seaside Park. So we want to recognize the members of the Scout Troop 9503. So I'm going to call, I guess, the Scout leaders to come on up and say a few words. Bob looks surprised. So I'm going to have Bob Petrie, you come on up first. Jim Barrow and Edward Camarado, if you guys want to come on up. I'm sorry? And John, come on up as well. Escorn. I'm terrible with names, so I apologize. Escorn. Escorn. I'm Italian. I have a lot of trouble pronouncing Italian names, so don't feel bad. Bob, you want to come up and say a few words on the cleanup?
Sure. I just want to thank everybody from the Waterways Commission for giving us the opportunity to help. Scouts are, you know, part of scouting is service to the community and unselfishness. And these guys are you know, dedicated to the township as well as the troop, and they pretty much attend everything. Anytime we ask them to help out service-wise or go on a camp out, we have 10 kids in the troop, we've got 10 kids there. So you know, my hat's off to those kids. It's not easy being a high school kid or a 7th, 8th grade kid, you know, giving up weekends, you know, to do that stuff. They'd probably rather be playing video games or whatever, but they do it anyway. And I just want to say thank you guys.
I'll have the chairman come on up, Bill McGrath from the Waterways Commission, to say a few words with regards to the Clean Ocean Action cleanup. Bill, on behalf of the town council and myself, we thank you for your leadership and continuing to bring this good stuff to our community.
Yes, as the mayor says, we do this twice a year through Clean Ocean Action. And I want to thank the Boy Scouts because they were both at the South Seaside Park cleanup and the Dudley Park cleanup. We took a tremendous amount of beer cans, beer bottles, trash, plastic trash in the trail between the parking lot and the trestle. The kids just throw this stuff in the woods, 50 feet into the woods off the trail. And we actually document every single piece of item that we picked up because it gets put in a data collector to the Clean Ocean Action folks, and this is done all over the state, and somehow with this information they figure out where it's coming from and other things. But again, I'd just like to thank the Boy Scouts that help us out, us older people out, for the cleanup. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. Bob, you want to announce, bring the kids up so I don't totally. Jane, I can take care of it.
Yeah, you take care of the adults. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Camper.
We have some kids who are either at swim practice or at play practice or at cadets, police cadets and what have you. So some of our guys are not able to attend tonight, but I'm going to announce them anyway. Alexander Camerado. Brady Etzcorn. Thank you. Josh Barrow. Thank you, sir. Noah Spalding. Jake McCabe. And the 3 scouts who were unable to attend tonight but were participants, Tommy Donachie, Matt Pelcher, and Griffin Petrie.
We're going to take a group shot with everybody. The chairman, if you want to come on up as well. Get in.
In the back, it was a tub. It was a tub. I never get in the picture.
Yes, you do.
Everybody, 3, 2, 1.
Garbage collection.
Okay, right here, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you.
Motion to adjourn. What's your step there?
Broken. All right, item number 4, discussion by administration.
Thank you. I could start us off with letter 4A. It's the approval of the Ocean County Hazard Mitigation Plan. This is a multi-jurisdictional thing, whereas Berkeley Township does our plan, county does their plan, and this incorporates it all together. It enables us to be eligible for grants and better protected for future disasters. It's on the official agenda as item 8.1.
Mr. President, item B is cancellation of taxes, another 100% disabled veteran, block 1108.16, lot 6. And just, as I mentioned before, this is a great program that we supported 110%, but it's another unfunded mandate by the state. As I mentioned again, can't stress it enough that we support our veterans, especially those who are 100% disabled, service-related injuries, for making that sacrifice to service in our military, and they deserve this for their dedication. But just once again, it's just another unfunded mandate by the state of New Jersey, and we have gone on record before that the state mandate, the state should pay. But that's on the official item 8.2.
Through the chair. Mayor, do you want to do that again? And another resolution to the state?
In January, when there's a new, when the legislature
We'll do it again.
reconvenes for another session, then we'll have a whole litany of bills to reintroduce and
Okay,
pass.
thank you.
But thank you, Councilman Burns.
Item 4C is an update to the Stafford Co-op pricing list. There are 6 different co-ops which expiration date has changed, and that is on the official agenda, number 8.3.
Letter D is canceling taxes on township-owned property. It's block 1516, lot 23. It's a small one, $56.93, and it's on the official agenda as item number 8.4. Letter E is the refund of $100 flood elevation review fee that was paid but not needed regarding block 1033, lot 40, and that one's on the official agenda as item number 8.5. Letter F is an ordinance amending our trailer parking. Traffic safety from the police department made the recommendation that we try to make consistent several different code sites, and this makes it so that now all on-street trailer parking is prohibited between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
I have a question to the chair. On this, I want to be careful, when you say trailer, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
When it says the trailer, I
Yes.
know it talks about storage. As you know, we have issues in the community about trailers in the park. So I want to be very clear. When you say a trailer, storage trailer, what kind of trailer, you know that I have issues with these complaints.
Sure.
So I want to be real careful. This comes out, they're going to say, we had this the other day, there was a long tractor trailer parked, this flatbed. So they're going to question me on this. When you say trailer storage, what kind of storage are you talking about? Very specific.
Yep. And it says in there, it encompasses all trailers, and then specifically mentions, besides just the typical kind of
Is there
open
a
trailers.
size?
Nope, all trailers, including boat trailers, even jet ski trailers,
Yeah, right.
campers. So any of those towed trailers
Not
of
box
of
trailers?
any size, those trailers too, it's all trailers. And
It's not gonna be an axle size now, because that
Right.
was the issue with the police department before. We got phone calls about commercial trucks being parked, and if it was a panel truck and it was a certain axle, they could stay.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, I wanna be
if
very-
it's a truck, then there are different regulations versus a trailer that's attached to a
Yeah,
truck.
trailer truck size, and trailer, okay. Then there's, people have, like you said, the attached trailer to a pickup, but it's attached.
Right.
There's nothing on it.
It's not allowed to be parked overnight, and the reality is because we don't want them stored on the street. If they're actively using the trailer, then there's no issue, like, you mean, not to live in
I
or
know
stay in,
I'm
but if
nickel
they're
and diming
unloading.
Because you
right.
know the problem I have
Yep.
over there.
Nope, this
Okay,
was,
thank
your concerns were exactly, bless you, the reason we're trying to do this,
Right.
to make a consistent thing that deals with all trailers and a consistent timeframe.
Because I just had one the other night. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Item G is updating the zoning map and adopting portions of the master plan update. It's a long ordinance, well, there's actually two ordinances. One that actually incorporates a lot of things, changes to the map from the 2015 reexamination, and other ones that just try to make our ordinances now follow the 2019 then update. So I'd advise everybody to read through that one after first reading, so that if anybody thinks there's any tweaking or anything else that needs to be done, I know it's a lot to read through, but it's important to get it introduced. I don't know if our planner wants to add anything more on that?
Nothing further, it's just consistent with the master plan re-exams previously adopted.
Exactly. And if-
I just have a question.
Sure.
Does this have to be notified to anyone? Just a
Normal
okay.
publication, and
Just
it
normal
is,
publication.
I'm glad you brought that up, it is two ordinances, and they're on the official agenda as items number 7 and 7A, and yes, they just get normal publication.
And a lot of it is just cleaning up, as John had said. A lot of it is cleaning up the stuff that we had already, ordinances that we already pre-approved, but we got to get it all codified and cleaned up.
Item 4H is an award of contract for furnishing and delivery of electronic credit and debit card payment services. We went out to bid this year, as our contract was up with Municipay, for credit card services mainly used in the construction office and in recreation. And the low bidder this time was a company called TSYS Merchant Solutions. So the recommendation for award is to TSYS Merchant Solutions, as their rates are lower than what Municipay was. And that is on the official agenda, number 8.6.
Through the chair again. On this credit card, is this strictly used for someone to come in to pay payment, not for any construction or recreation to use to pay anything with? Strictly for a resident to come in and pay? It's strictly for a resident to come in, not for any use for a construction person to use for any other reason or recreation. Strictly if someone wants to pay for a permit, they can use a credit card.
It's strictly
for that.
consumers, not for
I
township
just want to
staff,
be
consumers.
clear. Okay, thank you.
The township doesn't have a credit card, nor are we allowed a credit card.
Through the chair, Fred, the charge would go to the consumer, not to us.
That's correct.
Okay.
So there's no cost to the township at all.
And what is the fee that would be applied?
It varies, depending on the type of credit card that's being used. I think the highest is 1.94, it goes all the way down to about 1.73. And the other company that bid was 2.4 across the board.
So it's a convenience for the consumer.
That's a
Okay.
big time, yes.
Thank you.
And also, if they don't use a credit card, use a debit card, it's only 4 cents per transaction.
So through the chair,
We use a different company for the property taxes. This is similar to what we use with the tax office, except that's a different company.
how about in the courtroom, if they pay a $200 fine, they're gonna pay 200 and whatever?
No, the court laws are different than the other laws that we're able to use. In the court, there's statute that the fees have to be passed on to the township, as opposed to being passed on to the consumer, so the user. And I think the state does that because they want really everybody to go to their website where they charge the fee, and they pass that on to the consumers as well.
You need the judge to charge the fee.
Good.
Letter I is appointing Class 2 Special Law Enforcement Officers, Nicholas Castrovilli, Phoenix LaRocca, Vance Anthony Polino, and Shane Wardell. All 4 of these were Class 1 police officers that worked for us this past summer, so we're going to be sending them to the Police Academy to get them certified for Class 2 so they can be used in the upcoming season in South Seaside Park and also the rest of the town through the new collective bargaining agreement with the PBA. So it'll help us with speeding and other general police activities, which will be a good thing for the town. And that's on the official item 8.12. Item J is just a shared services agreement with the Ocean County Sheriff for fiscal year 2020, and that's our seatbelt grant program. Once a month, we go to the Bayville Firehouse and we do child safety seat checks on a regular basis. So it's a great program, and we're happy to be participating in that once again. And it's on the official item 8.13.
Item 4K are budget transfers. As the governing body knows, we can do budget transfers annually anytime after November 1st. This is the budget transfer we're looking to do this year. The total budget transfer is $1,335,750, which actually represents only approximately 2.8% of the budget overall. So it's very small in comparison to the size of the budget. And that is on the official agenda number 8.14.
Excuse me, through the chair again. Explain to me, well, like you're taking money. Why didn't we have enough in the budget? We need more for like administration, human resources. What exactly? It's just for salaries. Is that because there were raises? Why is this necessary to do these?
Well, it's not costing anything more, it's just a transferring of funds, number one. Number
But
two.
did something improve? I mean, we had it in the budget. Did something go up that we had to transfer for more? Were there raises or something?
There were some increases through the contracts that were unforeseen at the time. So it's spelling out here, and some of those numbers in the salaries and wages are overestimating to make sure that we have enough in there, so we don't have to do another transfer at the end, the next month.
Right, but that was in case there were raises or expenditures that were not part of the regular budget. Okay, thank you.
And some were just classification too.
Mm-hmm.
Fred, I don't know if you want to mention that as well. Some
Right, there were-
employees.
I wasn't here for the agenda, so I didn't.
Yes.
Okay, some were reclassification, some were transfers for employees, some where some employees were charged to one budget, which should have been to another budget. So rather than going through every single line item, it's just a lot easier just to transfer funds from one account to another account.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, item 5, comments from the mayor and council. One of the things we need to do under this section is select the date and time for our reorganization meeting.
Lacey's at noon on the 1st. Tom's River looks like they're not gonna be on the 1st.
We're doing the 1st at noon?
No, I'm thinking 3 o'clock.
On New Year's Day?
Yeah. We always do it January 1st. I'm thinking 3 o'clock.
2 o'clock or 3 o'clock?
3.
3.
3 o'clock is
You have to give direction to the clerk, I think, so that she can advertise. You don't have to officially
So I
vote.
need to know the date and time.
We need a motion on that?
No, you just need to advise her
Just everybody.
what is decided.
Is it agreeable for January 1st at 3 p.m.?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You can sleep in, right?
You can sleep in and then
Sober up?
Sleep in.
and then afterwards we can go to something more important.
Other matters to discuss?
Mayor?
Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Clerk. We got some good news. Well, first of all, I just want to, since this is my first public appearance since the election, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the voters of Berkeley Township for their confidence in re-electing myself, Councilman Bushio, Councilman Bacchione, and Council President Gross for another term on the council. We appreciate their confidence, we appreciate their support, and we look forward to another productive 4 years moving forward as we continue to make Berkeley Township a great place to live, work, raise a family, and retire. Thank you. Some good news. Standard & Poor's recently, as of today, issued their report affirming the township's bond rating at AA minus. Here's just some of the highlights. They said our rating got stronger mainly due to the following takeaways from the attached report. Strong management with good financial policies and practices under our financial management assessment methodology. Strong budgetary performance with an increase in operating surplus in the general fund in the fiscal year 2018. Strong budgetary flexibility with an available fund balance in fiscal 2018 of 13.7% of operating expenditures. Very strong liquidity with total government available cash at 20% of the general fund. It says Berkeley's budgetary performance is strong, in their opinion. Berkeley's budgetary flexibility is very strong. They said the township's future outlook is a stable outlook, reflects Berkeley's operations, and they said the upside scenario is all other factors equal. They could raise the rating of Berkeley's budgetary performance leads to its compliance with its fund balance policy threshold when making progress to continue its long-term paying down the debt. Where are we here? Long-term underlying says strong economic. I don't know. Strong management. Just trying to hit the highlights, but I mean this is good news for Berkeley Township taxpayers. As you know, this is we had a bond upgrade in 2018. This is during my administration, last 5 years, we had 2 bond upgrades, and then I think if we continue on the path that we're doing, which I had mentioned at previous meetings, is that we have finally caught up to our losses. The ratables that we lost during Superstorm Sandy, we actually made that up now. We're actually at our ratable base prior to Superstorm Sandy, which is a great accomplishment. And then that we continue to keep building our ratables in the future. I'm cautiously optimistic that a year from now, I'll be reporting that our bond rating has gone up again. So this is just good news when one of the credit rating agencies that deal with governments just gives a lot of kudos to Berkeley Township. And, we want to let people know that. Just to give you an idea on the surplus. When I took office in 2011, we have 11,000, Fred? No, it's in there. Yeah, when we took office in 2012, January 1st, 2012, we had $10,000 in surplus. As of this report, we have $6.1 million in surplus. And that's good fiscal financial practices, no surprises for our taxpayers, and we're going to continue to do that forward. Actually, thank you, Fred. The actual number was $10,144.83 when we were sworn in 2012, and then now 2019 it's $6,088,254.74. So, we're moving in the right direction, and Standard & Poor's has acknowledged that for the township, and we're very proud of that moving forward. A couple quick things. Not so good news. New Jersey, remember earlier this year, New Jersey Natural Gas wanted to raise rates 19%. We adopted a resolution in strong opposition, and we got other towns to join it. Unfortunately, the Board of Public Utilities settled with New Jersey Natural Gas for an increase a little under 10%. So we find that this is totally unacceptable, and I'm going to ask for the Township Council to adopt a resolution in opposition to the BPU's decision, and then we also want to send another resolution to the governor that we firmly believe, and we've been doing this for quite a few many years, is that Ocean County needs to have representation on the Board of Public Utilities. Ocean County, Monmouth County has a lot of special characteristics, and we feel the commissioners that are there are not representative of the communities in the state of New Jersey. So I'll work with Lauren on the,
I'd like to make a motion on that resolution.
I'll second.
On one or two? Are you gonna do it as one?
I have to go along with the mayor. Over the years, I really wonder who the Board of Utilities is working for. I said that when I did my speech against the water company. I really, truly don't think they're working for us. I support this totally, and yes, I want to make that motion.
Okay, roll
Thank you.
call. Councilman Burns?
Yes.
Councilman Becchione?
yes.
Councilwoman Gingrich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noonan?
Yes.
Councilman Godano?
Yes.
Council Vice President Bussier?
Yes.
And then just two last quick things. Our Christmas tree lighting is Friday, December 6th at 5 p.m. at Veterans Park. I look forward to seeing you. We'll have hot cocoa and cookies, and we'll have the Central Regional band and chorus there. And our preschoolers will be there to sing. It's just a great lead into the holiday season. And then lastly, our Recreation Department has now put the to 2020, our beach badges for White Sands Beach is now online for sale until December 20th. So if you're looking for that stocking stuffer, you want to get an advanced beach badge for 2020, they will be on sale. You can get them online or at the Recreation Center from now until December 20th. The preseason sale price is $30. So we encourage, for those of you who frequent our beaches, to take advantage of the early bird special and get a stocking stuffer for one of those beach badges. And in closing, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a very joyous holiday season upcoming, because I'm scheduled to be away at the next council meeting. Right now, I'm probably going to be away, but that may change, so that's why I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a very happy, healthy, prosperous holiday season. And if I'm not here at the next council meeting, I look forward to seeing everybody on January 1st at 3 p.m. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Now for the council's comments, Councilman Becchione.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I agree with the mayor's thanking all of the supporters of the Amato team in re-electing Mayor Carmen Amato, Councilman Tom Gross, Councilman Keith Bushio, and myself. So thank you to all those supporters. As an echo to last month's meeting regarding the best practices, you heard the mayor's remarks on what a very strong financial status Berkeley Township is in. I too want to remark on Standards & Poor's. S&P is in an absolute agreement with our formal surplus policy, which this Finance Committee recommended and this council approved by resolution. So I want to thank all the council members, and it shows exactly in which direction Berkeley Township is moving in financially. As a member of the Ocean County Land Trust, Chris Lundy, who's in attendance this evening, wrote an article in the Times, the Tom's River Times, I believe, regarding the referendum that passed on November 5th in the election, whereas the Ocean County Land Trust has funds available to restore historical sites. So I'm going to ask my council members this evening for a resolution to ask the Ocean County Land Trust, to ask the freeholders to finance the restitution of the schoolhouse in Manitou Park and the historical building here on Route 9 in Bayville. So yeah, the old town hall. So if I can get a resolution, I'd like to make, or I'll make that resolution, the motion.
You know that I'll second that motion.
All right, Judy can make it. And
I would like, I'll second that, and I think that would be amazing if we could get that for the school.
yeah, I'm thinking that with, I know there's approximately $50 million in this account, in Ocean County's land trust account, and I know it's going to go fast because I think every municipality in the county is going to want the money to restore buildings in their respected municipality. So I think we should get on the list quickly and first, so that we can see what the freeholders say about that. So do we?
I did the second.
Roll call.
Yep.
Councilman Becchione?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gingrich?
Yes.
Councilman Burns?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noonan?
Yes,
Councilman Godano?
Yes.
Council Vice President Bushio?
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have this evening, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, Councilman Bacchione. Councilwoman Gingrich.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to congratulate our mayor, Carmen Amato, our councilmen, John Bacchione, Tom Gross, and Keith Bushio, on a very successful election. We all know you will continue to do a great job as you have done for the last 6 years. Thank you. Secondly, November the 22nd is the food bank truck at 631 Jamaica Boulevard. And anyone in need, please sign up and come. November 27th is the day before Thanksgiving, and we will be giving out the Thanksgiving dinners. So if anyone is in need, please reach me, and I will have a dinner for you. And that's really all I have, except happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Sophia. Councilman Burns.
I too want to congratulate the Amato team. This thing's not working. On their win and continued great service to the town. Today I rode around with the engineer looking at some of the road projects over in Glen Cove area, Berkeley Shores, over that area there, and the projects look real good, but there's still flooding. Today had a high tide. The water was up and over Bayview. There was a little river going over there, which is part of the evacuation routes. So, maybe that area there needs to be addressed. But if the water's up and over the bulkhead, your roads are going to be flooded. And I think it's been flooded maybe 4 times this year already. So we need to, somebody's building a new house down by the water. They need to raise the slab a little bit more. We used to have the military photos out in the front lobby here, and I know the clerk was working on it, but there wound up being a lot of them. And I wonder if we could get them back up, or I know there's a lot.
Buildings and Grounds took them down. I don't know where they're at. I did ask for them. I don't know where he put them.
All right, did we get any new ones coming in?
I haven't gotten any recently, no.
All right, well, if you have a son, granddaughter, or whatever, get their photo in, and
We should do that. We should do. Because the ones that were hanging up were over 20 years old, because Clark Baronier, who's one of our police sergeants here in town, when he was deployed, his grandmother was our tax collector at the time, Jerry Dorso, and he was still hanging in the hallway. So I agree with Councilman Burns that we should put something out. I know Chris Lundy's here, that we would love to do that. If there's any township resident that's serving in the military, please send us a photo and information, and we proudly display it in the hallway.
And I'll work with you, Beverly, with Buildings and Grounds again. So I remember the last time you were trying to buy frames.
I did buy frames.
You did? Okay, now we got to get the pictures.
No, the frames, they were up at one time, and he took them down.
Okay, we'll get them back up and get them renewed.
Did you paint the hallways?
The
Don't know why they can't.
the VA, what you hear about the veterans with choice and whatever, Councilwoman Gingrich has been helping along. Any veterans that have been away from the system, they've lost their primary doctors. So what we've been doing is going in there and getting them registered and getting them set up with primary doctors. But I know one veteran was out on the choice program, and he had a primary doctor on the outside. Well, the problem with the primary doctor on the outside is he can't write prescriptions for the inside. And if you go to the doctor and you have orthopedic or dermatology or something, he cannot write the consult. So now you're stuck in limbo without a primary doctor. So I think I want to set up a meeting with the congressman. What's his name? Kim?
Andy King.
Kim, and because I know Chris Smith is busy up the other end, but maybe we can shake Kim up a little bit. All right, and get over here. And the parking, we've sent letters to the freeholders. Whatever the parking is, still a mess over there. You got 85-year-old guys parking in the woods. I appreciate the trailer boat parking, because a lot of times they're parking these RVs and trailers, into the driveways, and they extend out into the right-of-ways. And sometimes there's little kids playing on the other side of the camper, they're going to run out or whatever, so, that's a great ordinance to get that cleaned up. And also, there's still some demos. I watch a guy, every high tide, the house floods. Inside the house, he's got 2 pumps in there pumping out. That house can't be too safe with the electric, so maybe we need to get that electric cut off. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Burns. Councilwoman Noonan.
Yes, thank you, Vice President. I have a couple of things. Just a reflection on the bill A2425. As you all know, that we are waiting on that. There is no action on it. The bill has not come out. That's the one on the that we've been fighting. It has not come out. We're waiting for next week. If it doesn't come out in December, it will come out in January. If it doesn't show up in January, you won't see it for 2 years. But there is no action or movement on that bill right now. But also, I have a couple questions, also to the engineer. I asked, I'm sorry about this, I don't know why it's doing it.
Is it the thing on the side? Try it now.
Okay. To the engineer, each time I come and I ask about the roads, and I know that we have to go out for bid, but on Stanford, I had to send it to Public Works. The splits in the roads are so bad that if I stuck a stick in the crack, it goes all the way down through the dirt to air. I sent pictures to Public Works. I realized there's a time these people ask me, and the grass is growing up, we're patched to death, but these roads on Stanford, I have pictures to show you, that are they're really separating. When we took a stick, because I remember on one of the roads, it went all the way down to air. And I don't think that's a good sign, because it goes down past the dirt. These roads over in the senior community by us are really, the east is the oldest. If somehow we can get them back on the bid, or you look at them, I know the procedure, but they are really bad. I did give it to Public Works. Just patching it is not going to help. So I promised that I would bring that up.
Through the chair.
Sorry.
There's over 250 miles of road.
I don't want, yeah.
271.
I got that. I got that.
271 miles of
I
roadway.
got that.
So
300, 300 courts, cul-de-sacs, and dead ends.
Well, I know every year we do maybe 3 miles. You divide that into 250, it'll be a lifetime before these roads are done.
Well, these
hope I
particular
live that
roads
long.
are falling through. So when the road falls through, we've had an issue where actually the dirt was taken away from Sherwood, and there was absolutely nothing underneath. Yeah, no, but I don't need to be corrected on that. I know that. Also-
Councilwoman, I didn't correct you. I just wanted to explain how much money it was, and maybe we need to go for a referendum or whatever.
I said we need to do it. Okay, also, I have a problem I need to ask the police. We have, people are hunting, parking on the street on Edgewood Drive East, going through the homes, and they're telling the homeowner, they're going through the houses on common ground, but they're going between the houses, and I just wanted to ask the police officer about that, because it is common ground, but they're coming through the homes, and they're going bow hunting, and they're going through the brook, and they're setting up a thing. So I don't know what the rules are, because it is common ground, but they are going through the homes, they're parking their trucks on Edgewood Drive, they're there at 5:30 in the morning. So I will talk to the chief about it later, that's an issue. Also, I just want to thank Public Works. They came and they helped the gardens. The roads were falling apart. We have a road down and they dropped some rocks down, and I just want to thank them for that. I also again want to thank the waterways, because I think they do a phenomenal job. And I also want to congratulate our council and our mayor. but I had faith. I knew they would win because they are the best. And I want to thank you again and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Judy. Councilman Guadagno.
Let's see if this is going to work. Thanks. First, last Monday was Veterans Day. I know Councilman Burns and I see a lot of fellow veterans out there in the audience. Just want to give you a big thank you for everything you've done for our country. And, you know, it should be celebrated every year. And we have school on that day now, so we can teach lessons about Veterans Day so the kids are more informed about what the actual holiday means instead of just having a day off of school. So thank you to all our veterans in Berkeley Township and all over the country. Second, just want to give a thank you to the mayor and the council members that won in the election, teaching math. I like to round up the percentage numbers. So we're going to say our team got 80%, so that was a great job. That means 1 out of 4, right? 4 out of 1. That's pretty impressive. So great job, guys. I also want to say that in September I wasn't here in October, so in September we had our action sports competition, scooter competition. It was a tremendous turnout for the town. We had over 70 contestants. One came from New Hampshire, one came from Virginia, one came from Ohio out of the 70. So they came all over, came to Berkeley Township to see what great type of parks we have. I want to say thanks to the Park and Recreation that day for helping out, the mayor and all my council members for showing up. It was a great day for the community. About 1,000 people were there that day. And they probably went and spent money in our town and ate at our restaurants in our area. So it was a good day all over. Also, Councilman Burns, anytime that you, from just a personal experience I just dealt with, anytime you need help with anything for the veterans with the VA, please call on me. I have no problem helping you. Just, you know, some of the stuff that I've witnessed over the last month. Also, just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you this year for supporting both of our farmers markets. They were truly successful, and it was the best year that we've ever had, and they'll both be back next year, the one in South Seaside and the one over at the Rec Center. Thanks. Have a great holiday.
Keith, I just had one more thing, please. I wanted to thank Hardy City South, which really comes from Hardy City, Berkeley, what they did for the vets, the dinner, and Councilwoman Gingrich's husband. It was magnificent, and I thought it was very honored to honor our vets. There were over 300 people. Councilman Burns was present. I think it was a beautiful way to honor our vets. They do it every year, and they raised money. I just wanted to acknowledge that was a beautiful thing. I think to honor our vets like that was really a spectacular, beautiful thing. I just wanted to mention that Gingrich's husband is involved with it, and it was a beautiful job. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Noonan. I want to thank our voters that supported the Amato team. I appreciate your trust in putting us, re-electing us for another 4 years. We ran a very positive campaign. We ran on results, and I thoroughly enjoyed going door to door, hundreds of homes, speaking to residents, and was very delighted with the response I got going door to door. So I appreciate your vote of confidence and look forward to serving another 4 years with my running mates and the mayor. One thing I had here is that you've heard me speak about the marijuana legalization. This just came out this afternoon. New Jersey lawmakers are shelving any efforts to try to pass this through the legislature. It was just announced that it is going to be placed on the ballot in November 2020. It's a big year. It's a presidential election. So New Jersey residents will be asked to vote on a referendum whether or not to make marijuana, recreational marijuana, legal. So I just wanted to, if you hadn't seen that in the news, it was just came out this afternoon. So, and that's all I had. Item number 6, discussion by the township engineer.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Item 6A is the authorization of a change order to a contract with Earl Asphalt for the 2018 mill and overlay various road projects. This change order is a decrease of $705.62. It's on the official item 8.7. Item 6B is authorizing a change order, again, to a contract with Earl Asphalt Company for 2018 Whitmore Court, Beaverbrook Drive roadway resurfacing project. This is a decrease, $1,183.17. That's on the official item 8.8. Item 6C is authorization release of a performance guarantee for the 2018 mill and overlay project. You're making final payment. All the work's been completed. Maintenance bond will be posted, and that's on the official item 8.9. Item 6D is authorization release of a performance guarantee posted by Earl Asphalt for Whitmore Court and Beaverbrook Drive resurfacing project. Again, the work's been completed, and maintenance bond will be submitted, and it's on the official item 8.10. Item 6E is authorization of a release of a performance guarantee posted by Bayville Storage LLC for the major site plan, Block 973, Lot 7.01 and 9. All the bonded improvements have been completed, and we recommend that performance guarantee be released. It's on the official item 8.11. That's all I have, unless there's any questions with those items. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Planner? We're good?
Through the chair, I would just like to thank our engineers. They just repaired the culvert on Jamaica Boulevard. They did a fabulous job. They put all new sidewalk in and a new platform for the wheel that you're supposed to open up the gate to lower the water and then close the gate to let the water rise in the springtime. That kind of controls the foliage. But they did a fabulous job, and I was very happy to see how it was finished. Cleaned up everything. You wouldn't even know they were there. Thank you, Alan.
The contractor was done in 2 days. He had done
Yes.
the previous one, so he was prepared to do the work, and he got in and he got out quickly.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
And I
Mr.
also would like to
President.
thank the police because they were there and they made sure that no one interrupted or they answered any questions of the citizens that pulled up with their cars, including me, to ask any questions. But thank you again.
One small item. I'd like to thank what the president did with the incarcerated servicemen. With the pardon. These guys went through hell. If you'd been in combat in a firefight, you know, sometimes you do things that are a little rough, and that's what they did. And, you know, God bless them, and the president did the right thing, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Burns. Item 7, the meeting is now open for public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come up to speak? We don't have anybody listening.
Nobody listening.
State your name and your address for the record, please.
John Budish, 121 Anchor Drive, South Seaside Park. As some of you council members know, I walk South Seaside Park almost every day, weather permitting. And the past 3 weeks now, I've been noticing the storm drains have been backed up. I can understand now with the high tide, but we walked this morning and the tide was out, and the storm drains are still blocked up. I don't know what's blocking them because they cleaned them this past spring. Is there that much, garbage collecting in them things that they're blocking them up?
It's often sand, I can address, like, you know, that comes up
Yeah.
and blocks it. I don't know if these have been checked. Were they county ones that were,
No, I was on Barnegat, yeah.
yeah, county ones? I mean, we can ask again, we could always send in a work order, I have the Public Works, ask them to check the drains over there.
Yeah, because I was watching 12 o'clock news at dinner time, and they had a segment down in LBI, they're having the same problem. And they were thinking of putting those one-way valves in, so maybe that might be a possibility.
The Typex valves?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair, the same problem around we've had, and I know the engineer was going to talk to the sewage authority about a camera, but they just bored right across the whole bay. Maybe we could look into some type of a Roto-Rooter system for some of these older drains. But as far as the flappers, I can't see how they'll ever work. So, thanks.
Richard Bombardier, 302 Eastern Boulevard. Council President, council members, Mayor, I'm just here to, I just want to clarify or just clear up a couple of misconceptions that have been floating around regarding the new flying field that is across the street. I understand that the, council members may not know the guidelines that we have for that, so I just wanted to just explain a few of those. First thing I want to do is, in case the council is not aware, the field has been named. It does have a name now, and that was done by VFW Post 9503. They bought and paid as well as named the new field, and it is called the Berkeley Township Veteran Memorial RC Field. There is a sign out there, out at the field. It was professionally done, and that was bought and paid for by the VFW. So our club absolutely thanks them for that. All right. But to just go a little further, we are a sanctioned club through the AMA, which is the Academy of Model Aeronautics. We have certain guidelines, rules, safety precautions that we follow. One of those, by getting the field through the township, was that we would maintain, I believe it's a $2.5 million liability insurance on that property. Besides that, the AMA requires that every member that flies at a sanctioned field has AMA insurance, which adds an additional $1.5 million of coverage to that person independently, in case something were to happen. All right. We were thinking about bringing a plane just to show, in case the members don't understand the size of these, but we're talking 15, 20-pound planes traveling at 100+ miles an hour. All right, these are not toys out there. So, although this is open to the public, anyone is allowed to come out there. It does require extensive training, all right, and tutelage from an experienced flyer. So what we have set up, and this is set up through all of the flying clubs that are sanctioned, any person could come out, usually it's about 3 times, and we put them on a buddy box so that we're in control as well as they're in control, and then we teach them. This way they don't have to go and join a club, they don't have to pay for AMA, they don't have to buy anything. They can see if they like what they're getting into. And then after that, then we require, and not only that, the town had, required that it would be a membership-based organization. This way, the membership, we could control the members, we could control the safety, as well as the money that we bring in. We maintain the field moving forward. Any work that needs to be done out there as far as building tables, making improvements, we try to do that out of our membership money. I think that was, I guess as far as that, I just, as long as the township understands, when I say the township, I mean the community. We're here for the community. We want them to come out. We want them to get involved. We've actually partnered with the Boy Scouts that was just here. We've been trying to train them to fly as well, all right? And any child 18 and under does get AMA insurance at no charge, all right? And we are looking to change our bylaw so that we follow AMA, and we want to allow anyone under 18 at no charge as well, so we can get this open. So that basically kind of gives you a broad overview of we're not a private club. I like to consider us a community club. We're a community organization. We're a nonprofit organization. So, we're just here to promote the RC flying and the safety. The one other thing that I do want to address that again, to clarify, has to do with the FAA regulations. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of information. The AMA has spent a lot of time and effort working with the FAA, but there is just to show that I am, this is the case. There is an app put out by the FAA, and you open this app up, and wherever you are, it will look to see if you're in any type of, have any type of restrictions. The field across the street, although we are only, 3 miles from Miller, that is a uncontrolled manned airport. It is in G airspace, general aviation airspace. And according to the FAA and their own application, we are under no restrictions except for a flight of 400 feet. All right, which none of us go that high because you never see the plane at 400 feet. So I just wanted to clarify that if it's ever brought up again, we do meet the FAA regulations with that flying field out there. So I hope that clarifies some of the misconceptions that are out there. If there's any questions, please let me know, or you know how to get in touch with me.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks. Could I say something through the chair? Rich and his group have been a pleasure to deal with. I don't think there's ever been, I know there's never been any concern from administration and mayor, and I believe the council understood from the start. You guys are a community-based group and only want to do something nice for the community. I also want to not only say that and thank you, but also let you know that now, hopefully, I'm going to be able to pick up on some things. I know we wanted to get some signage out. Some of it might go on county roads, so we'll try to get the approvals, and that you might need some other clearing or trimming over there. All that stuff we'll follow up on, but we do have to go through some other agencies to get it done, so.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, no, and that's the other thing, the mayor just reminded me. Any work that was done by the township was done during our regular time. Any of the grading materials that came for free from the county. So there was really no cost to us
Very
to
little
help
cost.
get that area ready, and it was a space that wasn't being used anyway, so thank you very much.
Correct.
And just wanted to add
Our,
those
our
points.
club is actually, we're kind of hoping, as well as the VFW, we'd really like to try to get a, some sort of a open house or, you know, ribbon cutting ceremony, you know, in the near future. It'd be nice if we could do that for the spring. So you have to have a goal. You have to have a plan. So that would be our goal, if we could have something like that happen in the springtime.
You guys
Thank
did
you.
great, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please approach the mic.
Red Callahan, 117 Hanger Drive, South Seaside Park. Going on what John was talking about, catch basins full. Now, they clean them, no doubt about that, but the pipes gotta be deteriorated. They're, what are they, 40 years old, galvanized? Now, if I remember correctly, about 2 years ago, the engineers, and I think it was Ernie Peters, said that they were gonna do something on 24 to fix that drainage. And nothing's happened since.
We're working on it now.
Well, I think there ought to be something there to check to make sure that the pipe is.
Get the sewage authority.
Yeah, we're gonna TV that line. We're out there with Public Works. We marked it out. We're looking to get that done in the spring, to get that line replaced.
Well, along Barnegat, as I make a joke that people have bird baths and we have duck ponds, we still got them.
Yeah, Barnegat County, and I did.
I understand that.
I did have a conversation with John Ernst, who's the county engineer, about some of those concerns, on which I believe Whiteman's Corner was one of them. What's that?
20th.
20th. Barnegat and 20th,
That's
about trying to get some drainage improved. And Jim, if you want to follow up.
Barnegat, right there, that was, the state did that.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the other intersections that just, they don't drain.
I have nothing further to add, other than you may want to contact the county engineer directly. We're going to do it as well.
Well, the county engineer's not gonna pay any mind to me.
He is
It
a.
might be, hey, you guys have a little more clout than I do.
Well,
I'll have Jim follow up.
I'll make sure that he gets the message, but I would also encourage you to call him directly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Manhole doesn't go anywhere.
Thank you.
It's just a hole.
Anyone else this evening?
Hi, I'm Darren Bellick, 1511th Lane over in Midway Beach. I just wanted to come out tonight and thank the planning board for the tremendous job I think they did in revising the master plan. I know several years ago when it was being conducted, there were public hearings. You sought input from the public. A lot of that was incorporated into the master plan, to my satisfaction at least. And I'm happy tonight to hear that it's finally on its way to getting codified through an ordinance. So I thank the council as well and the mayor for bringing this to fruition. I also want to say I'm a board member for the Midway Beach Condo Association, and I'm here to voice their support as well. There are 384 taxpayers over there, and everyone is ecstatic that we can finally see that our little unique community will be subject to rebuild, God forbid, some catastrophic event takes place there. So again, thank you very much.
Through the chair, if I can just add, we've been communicating with people in Midway Beach, and Jim, Orris, and I have been talking, and I just want to make you aware that I think there's going to be additional ordinances probably after the first of the year that will deal more directly with some of the Midway Beach issues as well. But the bottom line of it is to maintain the integrity of that community, and I don't know if you want to add anything.
Mr. Cameron, nothing further, other than that is correct. It's a continuation of the master plan. Re-examine the efforts that went into that, and this is just an ongoing process working with the entire community and that portion of the South Seaside.
Okay. Anyone else?
Through the chair with the Midway Beach, if,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
once we propose the ordinances, if we could meet with them prior, this way we don't get clobbered like we did the last time with the streets. All right?
Mr. Chair, I have one question for the mayor. I was asked by some of my constituents, do you think we will go out for a vote on the robo-cans again for the senior community? I have been asked a lot, and I know we only got like, what, 50-50?
Yeah, it wasn't an overwhelming majority in favor.
Are we gonna try it again maybe next year, or what do you think, do another survey?
Well, I was thinking instead of doing another survey or maybe even putting it on the ballot.
Yeah, you know, Mayor, I actually, when I was going door to door, I had a number of residents in Holiday Cities ask me, why don't we have the robo-cans? And I said, well, there was a survey taken a few years ago. Well, they said, you should do the survey again. That was the response I
They
got.
have smaller ones, they're great.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I wanna ask, was there, at one time, the portion from?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's do this.
sorry.
Let's have a motion to close the public portion of the
I'll make a
meeting.
motion to close the public portion. Aye.
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 Good job, Matt.
I'm sorry, Beth.